Well, Kit has gone to sleep, and I just went out for a walk. Found someone's card, debit card, I think it was. I brought it over to emergency, and as soon as I walked out of there, God, my eyes were swelling with tears. So, walked around the block, ended up coming across a whole bunch of deer and a woman who wanted to feed the deer watermelon. I think I scared the deer off. So I'm sitting at Tomball Regional Health Foundations area. They have this fountain. You have a dock. It's well lit. And no one has closed it up. There's a car over there. I'm just sitting here. And since I slept earlier, did a little bit of walking. So I guess I'll do a bit more walking. Hopefully I don't scare the deer again, because they surprised me. I was like, whoa, hello, I'm walking the other way, and the deer were like, okay, there's a human, run. They ran across the road. The other woman was coming toward them. As I said, there's deer over there. She says, I know. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, we're gonna feed them. It's like, okay, you gonna feed them? She says, yeah, we got watermelon. I was like, oh, okay. So she was going right toward where they were disappearing off to. It's people like that you just, kind of feel the goodness in them. And those are my people. Those are my kindred spirits. The people who are, kind like that. Ran across another one, former teacher, now teaches the Bible. Methodist. So yeah, she's looking into meaning about the Bible as well, because she as a child had friends that she was enjoying the company of, but unfortunately, according to some branches of religion, they were of a different branch, and yeah, I don't want your child marrying my child when they get older. It's like, what? It's ridiculous. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like the Catholics versus the Protestant. It's all from the same book. It's Bible. The Bible should be, like, okay, you interpret it in one way, and then they interpret it a different way, but shouldn't, instead of separating, it should be uniting. The word should be uniting, not separating people. Due to, I'm a Methodist, you're a Protestant. No, it's all the Word of God. So, I don't know why you're separating each other from, over what God said. It's just not it's ridiculous. God doesn't want his children separated. He wants them united. But apparently some people just want to take off pieces and then interpret it one way, and then there's another group that just interprets it another way, and it just separates people. Why are we so obsessed with separating and putting each other into different boxes? This is what's so frustrating about our species. You take a look at deer. Do they do that? You take a look at anything else in nature. And do they do that? I don't know. I mean, we're all the same species, and yet we keep throwing each other different check boxes, We're bombing people over there because they believe in one thing, and we believe in this other thing. Let's just keep blowing each other up. Yeah, what does that solve? You know what that solves? Nothing. Everybody's freaking dead. Eventually you lose all people who want to follow you. Not everybody wants to die. Not everybody wants to kill. Stop it. Just stop it. We're all like a drop of water. It's like a spewing out of this fountain. Where do we all end up? Back into the body of water. The same body of water. Those little droplets that are shooting out, each of those are us. And we go to the same place. It's the source. Source is God. Yeah, you may put a different label on them, but you just go for the same source. How's that for philosophical? What of the river? What of the plants? What of the, think of it like the cycle of the water. It all evaporates, goes up into the sky, only to form clouds, and then accumulates until it's too heavy, and then it drops all the water back onto the soil. And what happens? It heats up. Everything heats up. All the particles of water on the ground get taken up as a humidity, goes back up into the sky, and it drops again as clouds form and you get heavy. Everything goes to the same source. We go back to the same source, and we keep pushing each other away from each other over trivial things. It just really doesn't matter when it comes to the source. This is why I'm not afraid. Oh, COVID. Okay, COVID happens, but you're gonna die. I go back to the source. Eventually, yes, I'll probably come back as a particle, or I'm just a part of the energy. I just stay. It is up to the source of what happens to my energy. It's up to God. Think about that for a while. Are we really so different? We all want the same things. We want our children to be safe. We all want to be loved. We want to be cared for. We want, to protect one another when it comes to our loved ones. And we should be the same to everyone, even though some of us drive each other crazy. We're all brothers and sisters here. We come from the same source. God made Adam of the earth. He split Adam in half and gave him Eve. We're of the same source. We're all God's people. No exception. It's the thing, we're all God's chosen people. If you look into who survived that flood, that big giant flood that took out Sodom and Gomorrah, who was left? I looked that up. Noah Grok said, or whatever source, oh God, there's a bird down there. I'm sorry, little guy, you're trying to sleep. That's my brother there too. This bird is my brother. Native Americans believed that all source of life is connected. How beautiful of a belief is that? We're all connected. We have to be. I mean, we're made of the same planet, right? If God created Adam and Eve, Adam from the earth, and split him in half and created Eve. So we were all on the ark, so to speak. The only ones that survived was Noah's family. There was no others. Everything else was wiped out. Everything was in a giant flood. Maybe Cain's family didn't survive after all. But then again, you got Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel came from the same parents. We are good, we are evil. It is up to us to choose which path we want to go on. So, it's 11:33. Okay, going by. It's getting later. I'm just gonna go. I think I'm done with my sermon. So, I hope some of this went through. But again, we're of the same source. We're of God. And each of those spots of water, those droplets of water, is us. We go off into the world. Eventually we arc up high. And then we fall back to the source. There you go. Of course, some people would say, well, I don't know about that, but there's some things that are pointed to us and we don't even acknowledge. All of a sudden my brain heard that music. It's like, what? Is someone? No. That is not Doctor Who. Anyway, I'm going.